Hello, you are watching Western Reserve News. I'm your host, Bruce Rogers, and we invite you to sit back and watch the highlights of meetings that we are doing this week. This is the week of December 28th, 2015. On Monday, December 28th, 2015, Western Reserve News was at the Boardman Township Trustee Meeting. Also on Monday, December 28th, Western Reserve News was at the Sebring Village Council Meeting. At the Sebring Village Council Meeting on December 28, 2015, the swearing-in ceremony.
If you could raise your right hand. Repeat after me. State your name.
James Robert Kennel,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will obey the laws
that I
thereof,
will obey the laws,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respect,
observe the provisions
observe the position
of the Charter
of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Village of Sebring,
of the Village of Sebring,
and that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of council member
as the office of council member,
upon which I'm about to enter.
which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Welcome
Thank
aboard.
you, Judge.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your help. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys gonna help? You guys all gonna come up? Mr. Frank?
Here we go. You gonna hold the Bible?
See, he's ready to go. Always easier to go second. You get the caution. All right, just state your name.
David L. Wright,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will obey the laws,
and that I will obey the laws,
and that I will, in all respects,
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions
observe the provisions
of the Charter and ordinances
of the Charter and ordinances
of the Village of Sebring,
of the Village of Sebring,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of council member
the duties of the office of council member
upon which I'm about
upon which I'm about
to enter.
to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to say we saved the best for last. Maybe the biggest one of the two. You look so sharp. Hold it with Grandma. Make sure they can get you.
There you go.
And state your name.
I, J. Michael Pinkerton,
Solemnly
solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
that I will obey the laws thereof,
I will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will, in all respects,
and that I will, in all respects,
observe the provisions
observe the provisions
of the Charter
of the Charter
and ordinances
and ordinances
of the Village of
of
Sebring,
the Village of Sebring,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Mayor
the duties of the office of Mayor,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sebring reads a proclamation to Jan Weingart.
Resolution 44-2015. This is the resolution is presented by council as a whole This is a resolution honoring Jan Weingart for her dedication and faithful service as a council member for the Village of Sebring. Whereas Councilmember Jan Weingart sought public service and has faithfully and diligently served the citizens of the Village of Sebring, and whereas Jan Weingart has sincerely and seriously given of her time and knowledge to serve the government for the past 4 years, and whereas Jan Weingart has earned the respect of her colleagues for her tireless energy in promoting and sponsoring programs that have benefited and added to the improvements and further development of the Village of Sebring, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of Sebring, Mahoning County, Ohio, that Jan Weingart is hereby honored and commended for her extraordinary service and commitment to serving her community, which owes a deep debt of gratitude for her willingness to serve. Section 2, that her colleagues do hereby publicly honor Jan Weingart for her unselfishly giving of herself for the betterment of the community. And this resolution has been introduced by unanimous consent of all council members, mayor, and the administration of the municipality of Sebring, with best wishes to her in future endeavors. Passed this the 28th day of December 2015. I will present this to Ms. Weingart probably tomorrow evening. Having heard the resolution read in its entirety, what's your pleasure?
Make a motion, we adopt the resolution as read.
Second.
Motion by Wright, seconded by Flowers, to adopt the resolution as read. Questions or comments? I would like to read Ms. Weingart actually saw the resolution unintentionally a few days ago, and knowing that she couldn't be here, asked me if I would pass this on to council. Thank you all for recognizing my tenure as councilwoman. It has been an enlightening experience. There are a few remaining items from my to-do list that will continue to pursue as an ordinary citizen with a voice of pen and a profound appreciation of power of the press. I think Sebring has special qualities, a perfect example of a fine place to rear children. We have an appreciation of nature, history, and our little town is filled with caring, thoughtful, and astute residents. I think the village has excellent employees. The department supervisors and their staffs are better as a group than I've worked with before. It is important to me that they know I appreciate their hard work and dedication. Thank you again, Jan. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, clerk, call the roll.
Idell.
Aye.
Householder. Aye. Flowers.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Hart.
Aye.
Motion carries.
At the Boardman Township meeting, a question of whether or not dogs should be inside or outside.
I am here with a few other Boardman residents because we would like to see 2 regulations added to the current ones under Regulations Governing Dog Control, Section 2, Control and Restraint. The current ones that are written are to protect the public from the dogs. We would like to see some that would protect the dogs. The first one, we would like to see some limits placed on the time a dog is tethered. Perhaps maybe not for 60 continuous minutes in a 5-hour period. We would like some guidelines for the length of the tether. Warren City states that the tether has to be at least 12 feet long, and the movement of the dog has to be at least 12 feet long. The second one, we would like to see it mandatory for owners to bring in their pets in very cold and hot conditions. Warren again has an ordinance that states no person shall house, shelter, or tether an animal in any of the following circumstances. 1, if a heat or cold advisory has been issued by a local or state authority or the National Weather Service, and 2, if a severe weather warning has been issued by a local or state authority of the National Weather Service. This could protect the animals' safety, which we would like to see. In our neighborhood right now, we have a 7-month-old Rottie puppy who is tethered 24/7 in a dark garage. He's never permitted in the house, not even on those cold nights that were below freezing. His chain is 3 feet long. He does have food, occasionally has water. The mat that he has to sleep on is either damp or wet. We know this is not good for him. We know this can cause arthritis. If the garage door is open or the access door is open, he can get out, but his movement is limited because it's only a 3-foot chain. We know that this is not good for the dog as a puppy. We also know that tethering a dog extends the periods of time, research has shown that they can become aggressive, and this is not good for the neighborhood. But we're not here just for Charlie. We're here for any animal that has to live in some adverse conditions that could affect their proper growth and healthy development, whether it be physically, emotionally, mentally, or socially. We know these factors affect dogs just as they do humans. I talked to Diane Fry, a dog warden, about this, and she said because Boardman has no regulations limiting the time a dog can be tethered, there's nothing they can do. In Youngstown, they could seize the dog. So we would like Boardman to step up, do the right thing, and protect these dogs that don't have a voice. So what we're looking for is strong and compassionate leadership, and we're hoping that that's you today. There's three things that we need to know today. First of all, we need to know your thoughts and feelings. Are you willing to work to change this as our representatives? We need to know what the steps would be and how long it would take. What's the time frame here? And we also need to know what we have to do as citizens and voters of Boardman. So I talked with Jason about that, but I see he's not here today.
He's on his way to the vet with his dog.
Oh, okay.
Out of town.
And, he expressed to me that this was a concern and that he invited me to come. So we would just like to hear from you, and hopefully we can solve this and protect the in Boardman.
There's nothing I disagree with what you said as far as what we need to do to take care of them. It's just, I guess my only question is what we are able to do.
The semantics of it.
Is that something that comes fall into your...
The dog home rule resolution is normally administrated by the police department, but we would be willing to help with anything. We've gone through many home rule resolution revisions, and we do know the process. Jason knows the process very well.
So it's a home rule resolution that needs to be
Yes.
passed?
I think we need...
Anyway.
We can assist, but it's administrated by the police department, so we would assist them, but they would be the ones who would be the ones responsible for citing under it. They do the loud barking, the dog off the leash, they do the other portions of it now.
I think we need to do some research into what that resolution would say. I mean, there's a far stretch from a dog being in a garage 24/7 on a leash that's 3 foot long and going to starting to set some of the other regulations, and we have to
Right.
understand what's appropriate
Right.
and how we can protect the dogs, but at the same time giving the, I guess, a benefit of the doubt to pet owners who are trying to do the right thing and trying to take care of their pets.
Correct.
My personal issue is that I had a husky who loved to be outside in the winter, and I had a neighbor who thought that it was inappropriate, and the dog was very healthy, lived a long life, and loved being out in the cold weather. And I didn't want that neighbor should make the judgment about whether or not that pet should be outside, because there are a lot of people who have, who love their pets and take care of their pets. And so I think that you're right, there has to be something, but I would like to see us do a lot of research to find out what is the appropriate way to protect those pets, and at the same time giving those homeowners a little bit of, I guess, freedom in how they raise their pets, as long as they do it respectfully. Is that fair?
That sounds fair, and the research would come from where?
I don't know, and I think that's what we have to figure. That's what we have to figure out.
We can reach out to the Ohio Township Association and see what other townships in the state have done. We belong to CLOUT, the Coalition of Large Ohio Urban Townships. We can reach out to see what other larger townships have done in the state. We can see if there's any other home rule ordinances that address this issue so that we can look at it. We need to have our attorneys look at it. And first off, believe me, I'm a dog person. So we never told our dog she was a dog. So with that being said, I agree with you. We need to be careful because our last home rule resolution that we passed is still being challenged in court. So we want to be able to have something that is enforceable without us spending thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money being challenged in court. So I would look to the dog warden for information. I'd look to the Ohio Township Association for information. I'd look to the other CLOUT townships, large urban townships, how they have addressed this issue. And can we adopt that same language as a township that will hold up in court?
Would you be willing to work with Jason?
Yes.
As an advisory, maybe a few people as an advisory group Because I think Jason would be very much interested in working on such a
Yeah.
project
Yeah, I mean,
as well.
Yeah, Jason started the pet,
Right.
what's it called, Paulstown?
Paw Town.
And it's great. So I think, yeah, we agree with you that there has to be something. I think we just want to make sure that we're thoughtful in what the process would be.
And then if we could include some people, like maybe a vet or someone that really knows the development of dogs and what's best for them, would that be appropriate?
I think what I would ask is that you get with Jason sometime this week.
Okay.
And I think maybe between the two of you, you think about a small committee that can do some of that research
Okay.
and what you're thinking. And then Jason will follow up with the cloud. He will follow up with
Township
asking other
Association.
townships, because it's an email blast that goes out. Does anybody address this in their township? And then they start sending back all their information, so the research will come into us.
And the nice thing is we'll find out what didn't work, too.
We're not going to reinvent the wheel, but someone has done this probably. This is the first time it's ever been brought to
But to us.
this board's attention that there's a concern, and it certainly is a concern.
We get requests from other communities in Ohio all the time, how do you handle this? And we send them our information. So we'll request of others, what have you done anything, and what have you done? So it can come in and we can see what's been done. They may have written a rule that was challenged in court and already won. So we want to mirror that as much as possible.
Okay.
I think your question on timetable, basically, that's going to come down to you and Jason talking, but when it gets in the hands of lawyers, then that's where it becomes not weeks, but months. But I would hope that with what you brought to us, I would hope that we could have something on the books sooner than later.
And the other thing we want to make sure is that from the sounds of it, too, we have to make sure that we don't allow people to raise dogs to be violent.
Right.
And I think that's what you see sometimes with some of those things,
Right.
and be predators.
Right. And at this point, there's probably nothing we can do for the dog that's tethered 24/7.
We might have, I mean,
I called Animal Charities, I did, and they said they could come out and do a wellness check.
Okay.
They could try to educate the owners better, but they have no jurisdiction either. My problem here is that I walk Charlie. I've asked for permission to walk him, what the owners have given me, but I'm worried that if somebody comes out and they're going to say to me, okay, you can't walk him anymore because you've created this problem. So I'm walking a fine line there. But Animal Charities did say they would come out anonymously. I guess I would
Yes.
just have to talk to them about,
I had actually a similar situation in my neighborhood. I will tell you, it took a good year and a half. But I had Animal Charity, I called them regularly, they would go out regularly, and finally the owners actually surrendered the dog,
okay.
which was a godsend. It happened like two months ago. You don't know how happy my heart is
Yes.
because of that. It does take some time to work with them. I've had great success with them, and they're very caring and helpful, and I certainly know Diane Fry. I'm sure we can sit down. We actually met with Senator Schiavone and had a meeting about this a few months ago also. So I'm sure that we can move ahead.
Okay.
Well, and the one thing is, unfortunately, I don't know about this particular dog you're referring to, but hopefully if we do this right, it'll be in the best interest of, hundreds of dogs,
Right.
in the future. So that's what we'll try to do.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your
well,
help.
thank you.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Appreciate it.
At the Boardman Township meeting, bids were opened to build a new salt barn.
Okay, at this point now, we're opening up two bids. There's no other bids right here, just the two that we have. We're opening up two bids for a replacement of a salt barn. Those are before you. I believe you have potentially two proposals within each, right? Start new or start from the concrete up?
No, it's one total bid, tear down, tear down to the wall, and then put a new one up on top of the existing wall.
Okay, no other options?
No.
Okay. What page might they be looking for?
It should be a color page.
The blue?
Like a small table with the photo out.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. This one is,
Right in front.
Sites Builders,
I'm sorry?
Sites,
Sites? SI?
S-E-I-T-Z, $185,500.
Okay, and I have a bid from Advanced Truss, Inc., and their bid is $199,752.